Here we have a crab apple. Crab apples tend to be a little smaller, but they can get big too. Not huge like oaks, but not quite as big as regular apples, standard apples. Here's flowers of a crab apple tree. The difference between a crab apple and an apple basically is that apple trees make apples. They're much bigger, much sweeter, much more worth eating. Here is an apple that makes apples. This is a Gala, the Grand Gala apple, actually. It's not standard full size. It's supposed to be a like half size, but I had to keep it short because it's got a really bad graft. This is a terrible graft. Poor thing. So what happens is if the graft between the rootstock, it's been used to make the tree be a dwarf or a semi-dwarf or full size. If the plant material the scion that they graft onto the rootstock is not lined up very well, you get a bad graft. And this graft union has been not lined up well. Therefore, we've got a big ball that's formed by sugars getting stuck. Sugars that were trying to go up and down the tree. The tree made carbohydrates, sugars up in the leaves, and it was trying to send it down to the roots to store it or to use it. And what happened is it got stuck because all the xylem and the phloem weren't lined up. And we got this mass that grew, and it's quite weak. I'll push on it a little bit. It's got less movement than before, but we had a main stem here before. The main trunk like just sort of fell over and twisted off when it was loaded one year. So it's got some pretty crazy branching now. I'm gonna cut some more out, but it's actually made good apples last year. So it's just a matter of time before the whole tree falls over because of that graft union though. So here's apple flowers, apple blossoms. They're very beautiful, they smell lovely. I'll show you two more in the side yard, but first I'm going to show you another graft, but this one is a good graft. There's a beautiful graft back here on a pawpaw tree. This is a pawpaw tree, mango variety. So this tree is a grafted variety, and the graft union has no giant lump of sugar at all. This right here is the graft line. They did a beautiful job. They didn't have any problem at all. It's very healthy. This I think had a stone pushed up here, and it was growing over this. Sorry, it had a stone here, and it was growing up over the stone a little bit. But it's not a sugar lump because the graft is great. All right, let's go look at some more apple flowers because I got two more varieties out here, and they're different colors, and you can see the difference. They're very pretty. They smell nice. They're full of bees. Very good for pollinating. And everything loves things in the apple and rose family, pears. Everything loves the leaves. They're delicious. So you get all sorts of bugs. All right, here, this one here, this with the whiter flowers. They do have pink, especially on the buds, but it's much whiter than the one behind it. This is a Granny Smith apple tree. It also has a little bit of a structure issue, so I have to keep it pretty small so it doesn't fall over, although the trunk's much more solid than it used to be. You see the flowers are larger, but they're the same shape, got the same form as the crab apple and the Grand Gala. And this here is also an apple tree. It's a standard. It's pretty young, so it's thin, but it's much taller. The Granny Smith would get this tall easily if I'd let it, but I can't because it's not strong enough at the base. This is a Stayman Winesap, and its flowers are quite beautiful. Also, still apple flowers, so they're very similar, but the pink is in the buds especially. But the flowers themselves have a lot of pink in them too. A lot more than the Granny Smith. That's from underneath. Let's get some from on top, huh? A little difficult. How about here? There we go. Stayman Winesap apple flowers. Very pretty. And you can hear the bees, I think. There's bees floating all around here. So we don't usually have a lot of problems with pollination, but it was really cold last night. I thought the spring was thoroughly sprung, but it's down in the 30s now at night for this week. So that affects the pollination and the bees a lot. So there's a bee. You see them? There's a few of them. Alrighty, that's what's interesting right now. We've got lots of fruit trees in flower, and this was different kinds of apples and a little bit of graft info.